Thank you, Mr. President. And before I commence, I need to make a disclosure to the House. In a former life, I was responsible for running the program through which Minister Honig received his legal education, not, I hasten to add, as contemporaries. And I make this disclosure because I cannot understand how someone who is a graduate of the fine course administered by the Legal Profession Admission Board and taught by the University of Sydney's Law Extension Committee could get the law so wrong. Minister Honig's speech of the 29th of May in the other place argued that the privileges of the Legislative Assembly extend not just to the members' electorate office staff, a curious proposition in itself, but also, if the MP is a minister, to ministerial staff. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of our system of government. True, the New South Wales Constitution does not have the explicit division of powers found in sections 161 and 71 of its Commonwealth counterpart, but our parts 3, 4 and 9 and a substantial line of case law are just as clear. In New South Wales, as a guarantee of liberty and functionally as described by Montesquieu in the spirit of the laws, power is divided into three equal but separate arms: legislative, executive and judicial. And in the partial fusion, which is a characteristic of any Westminster system, Ron Honig, as member for Heffron, together with other members of Parliament, has the great privilege of exercising legislative power, and as Minister Honig also exercises a different and additional executive power. The privileges of which he speaks date back to Article 9 of the Bill of Rights of 1689, passed in the aftermath of the English Civil War, when the threats of Stuart kings to sanction members of Parliament who had spoken out against the monarchy were still fresh. This instituted what we now call parliamentary privilege and ensured freedom of speech and debate within Parliament. This was a set of privileges which attached to those who served in the legislative arm and was instituted as a protection against attack by the executive arm, constituted in the 17th century solely by the king. So to suggest that legislative privileges attach to members of the executive, the same executive that Article 9 sought to protect the legislature from, displays a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature and history of these privileges. And to conflate membership of the legislative arm and the executive and to seek to concertina in the privileges of one to the other shows a misunderstanding of our constitutional underpinnings. To serve in this place is a great privilege. To also have the honour of serving as a minister in the executive government carries a significant burden of trust. It is important that those who serve understand the roles and responsibilities they are called on to discharge.
Thank you.